sight.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ross Patterson Revolution! Brought to you by GhostBed.com. Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I'm trying to pull it together today, Jabes.
Are you?
I'm a little slow.
All right. Well, let's just.
I got rocked last night.
Did you?
I did get rocked last night. Not in a good, fun way.
Sure.
You know, not in the way of like, oh my God, I had some people in town and it was rad. And,
Yeah.
and we torched it. This was more of like the depressing of like, oh man. It was like a Chris Stapleton night, you know, where you just put on a new C-Stapes. Do they call them that?
A what?
C-Stapes?
Oh, no.
No, okay.
No.
Trying to figure that out.
Yeah.
I did listen to his new album, by the way, and it is unbelievable.
God.
Unbelievable. That guy is one of the best. I know a few weeks ago we were talking about getting vaxxed up, right?
Yeah.
For certain artists, he might be one now.
Yeah.
That new album is beautiful. It's a great album to get rocked to, or if you're going through a divorce or a loss of some sort.
I mean, calm down.
It is. Well, look, I'm going through a loss of some sort.
Oh, okay. Just make sure the people know.
We're going to talk about this later on Drinkin Bros today, and I'll post receipts. You know, we'll go screenshots and the whole nine for this.
Yeah. We'll name names. We'll tag and drag.
Yes.
I would love a call to action. Think about what that might be.
I know. Well, we'll think about. We're going to do Drinkin Bros live this afternoon and try to figure out how to insert all of this stuff. Yeah, man, I got a TV show stolen from me. The one that we've been talking about it for a long time on this show, and it got jacked by Post Malone.
Yeah.
I've been tagged in this a million times about the celebrity beer pong thing. I didn't know what it was, and to be honest with you, because there hadn't been a trailer, there hadn't been anything. I literally had no idea what it was. But I had sold a show called Beer Pong Heroes. And we had asked Post Malone to be on the first episode.
Explain to him what it would be.
Yep.
Got some other guests involved,
Halsey
signed on.
And some other people. And yeah, man. So I kept getting tagged in these articles because it was just an article. And I didn't know. And now we know why. We couldn't shoot the show. We were supposed to shoot it on July 19th. It was called Beer Pong Heroes. I think his is called Beer Pong League or something like that.
Guys, do you know?
Celebrity Beer Pong League. Yep.
Celebrity World Beer Pong League.
Yeah. And so they tweaked the title, word for word, exact format, all of it, including, because we were going to shoot 10 episodes, including 3 of the guests. So 3 of the guests that are on his show were going to be on ours.
Yes, and had talked to us and our team about being on, and that they weren't comfortable really shooting right now, but
and then it got to the point where it was like, hey man, if you could come to my house in Utah and shoot this, like, so we tried to tie production with that, and then we tried to get Halsey out there for that at his house, and we had agreed to all of this stuff, and then COVID eventually knocked it out, where you couldn't. Back in July when we were supposed to shoot it, you couldn't. You didn't have rapid testing, you didn't have anything, so we couldn't figure it out, right? And you're worried about getting sued from crew members and things like that. We were talking about wearing rubber gloves and using like 500 different balls and all of that stuff. But yeah, man, because I have pictures of it and screenshots from all of it today, and I was unaware that this is what this was. The only thing that I'm curious about at this point, whether it was him personally or his manager, a guy named Dre, who is their host of the show.
Right, but you guys were in talks with him.
Correct, and his friends and all of that stuff, and all of it spawned from that show we did when I beat him for 20 grand that went viral and all of that stuff. And I was like, man, I got a picture of it. Like, find me, I was at that point cautious about it. I'll air it on Drinkin Bros today. I'll put the pictures up today. Fuck it. I'm so angry about it. But this has happened to me so many times that, you get rocked, you wake up the next day, and then you move on with your life. When you get involved in these lawsuits and things like this, with all this stuff, truthfully, here's what happens. It's 3 years. None of it goes anywhere. And you end up getting 50 grand, something like that.
Yeah, and it barely covers your
legal fees and everything else. And it's the whole thing is one colossal mess. And let's face it, he's Post Malone. He's got $1 gajillion, so you can throw 80 lawyers at those problems, right? But it is what it is. So hence I'm a little slow today, and I get rocked from it. It was one of those things where last night when I got home, because the trailer drops, I guess. That when I got home from work, you'd gone to bed early. One of our children is sick, so you were taking care of him. So I was up kind of doing some other work because we're about to split off Drinkin Bros Sports here December 1st, and that'll become its own feed and YouTube channel and all that stuff. And so I was kind of working on the back end of that, and my phone just kept going off over and over and over.
You're like, what the hell?
I thought a relative died.
Yeah.
Turned out that relative was me. And I had died.
Turned out that relative was my soul.
Yeah.
And it's dead.
Yeah. And one of my best friends, who you guys obviously know, Clayton Crawford, who's been on the show numerous times and all that stuff from Lethal Weapon, he never uses his cell phone. He lives on a farm in Alabama. Yeah. Which is great.
He's my spirit animal.
Yeah. It's hilarious. Like, I won't hear back from him for days because he's like, hey, man, he's one of those guys who just leaves his cell phone in a drawer. Off for days, and he'll hit you back whenever.
Sure.
Whenever he's done farming, because it is a real operational working farm that he runs.
I bet when he sold his movie to Neon, it would have been a lot earlier, but they could not get a hold of him.
Probably. But
whatever.
Anyway, so I got that. That was the final text where I saw his name pop up, and I was like, look, I'm infamous for not returning text messages and all that stuff because it's when I'm home I try to be present and I don't want to try to be president too
of the home
and I'm whole family.
I try and be CEO, but that's not happening.
That's not happening, brother. No, I try to be present and I don't want to answer a million text messages and all that stuff. So therefore I'll get back to you.
Sure.
It's not something dire or work related, but when I saw him pop up, I was like, "Oh shit!" I was like, "Something is definitely wrong now."
Yeah, if he pulled his phone out of the drawer.
Yeah, after like 4 or 5 days, right, or whatever that's been, and then he was like, "Hey man, did you see the Post Malone trailer for the beer pong?" And I was like, "What?" And that's when I opened it up and looked at it. Actually,
yeah, and
he was the one who hit me up.
And the shittiest texts were the ones that were like, "Oh man, congratulations, you got your show on." Like, what? What are you talking about? It's happened a couple times at this point where they're like, "Oh, you got your show made. That's awesome." And you're like, Nope, pitched it to the wrong person, trusted the wrong person, told people too many things, like where you just go, you're not gonna fucking steal this, right? You're Post Malone, like, you're good.
Yeah, you're not. Look, you're not good.
You're not good.
You
canceled.
Yeah, who knows? Yeah, you're in my book. You're fucking canceled now, so it's fine. But anyways, this afternoon on Drinkin Bros, we'll go through the kind of the anatomy of how all of this happens, because I think that's that. And how do I write a book? I want to either sell a TV show or I want to write a book is the most popular question that I get every single day. I probably get that every single day. I have this idea or I have this thing or whatever. A lot of the times, like, I won't even read people's ideas because I don't want them to, if I do something similar or whatever. And but we'll go through the anatomy of like what happens when you sell a show, do it, and then you go for guests, and then somebody takes it, like, and what, like, I'll show the emails and all that shit, like, today. It'll be awesome because it's a lesson of like, all right, what happens with all of this shit? Because you hear about it all the time of like, oh, so-and-so took this or stole a song or stole a TV show or whatever.
Yeah, it's mostly songs that make it all the way because I think lawyers just find that to be easier to prove, right?
No, look, even with songs, music-wise, it is very, very difficult to prove. It is costly and lengthy. There is one in particular that I still can't let go of, where I'm like, and it was a song by Donald Glover, actually, or Childish Gambino, the America song.
This is America.
This is America.
Is apparently
Look up
straight up stolen from a SoundCloud rapper, I think, right?
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where
this
you
is America's
just go,
stolen song, probably not stolen, but there you go. But yeah, and the guy talks about it over and over and over again, and you know, he was interviewed. I know TMZ caught up with him in the street, and they were like, "How come you haven't sued? We've heard both songs at this point. Like, how come you haven't sued?" And he's just like, "Man, I never said in my career that I would do that, and like, I don't make a habit of it either." I've had shit stolen from Sandler and Will Ferrell and all of this. The Sandler thing was so bad that it got to the point. His production company's called Happy Madison, and the joke around Hollywood was like, "Hey, don't pitch anything to Happy Madison."
like
who was the guy here? American Pharaoh. That's it. American Pharaoh. So all of that. When they caught up with American Pharaoh, they caught up with him maybe about 2 weeks before the Grammys when Donald Glover was nominated for All That Shit. And then he did not show up for the Grammys that night. He was the first person ever to win rap for Best Single for This Is America. And he did not show up to accept his award that night or to the Grammys at all. My assumption was always that because he jacked the song. And I don't know if it was Donald Glover himself or his producer, but no one has ever acknowledged it. Do you know any inside info on this?
No, I was just going to say it's a very talented horse. He won the Triple Crown, and then he wrote "This Is America."
Yeah. American Pharaoh is,
that's right.
Is huge. Yeah,
I think we went to that.
We did go to that actually.
Wasn't he the favorite and he won or something?
Yeah.
But they did a recount, and I think we were at the
Triple
track,
Crown
and people were just throwing their tickets.
Oh no, that was another
one.
Was that the Triple Crown where they?
No.
American Pharaoh was the first horse to win the Triple Crown.
That's right. Sorry.
60 years.
We were at another one where they.
It was the favorite.
The horse got the favorite got knocked out, and then the 50-1, 60-1 horse won. But
insane.
Yeah. So, but like I said, we'll go over this on Drinkin Bros today. I'll show you the messages and all that stuff. Like, I'll just post it because I don't care. I'm not going to sue. I don't do shit like that typically. So.
No.
You know, it is what it is, and it sucks because you spend hours in these meetings with all these fucking people and try to dial everything in. Not only that, but just trying to dial in how to get like beer pong the balls for COVID. Mm-hmm. Like there was a pitch of like, hey, we'll keep 500 clean balls next to you, or you guys could throw with gloves, and it was just like you're still drinking after one another and everything else. We were supposed to shoot it July 19th, and like rapid testing and all that shit didn't exist. And so that wasn't even an option. But when I watched because his show just dropped this morning, Post Malone's show on Facebook was the one that bought it. So it's airing on Facebook and Instagram. When it came out, there was a warning that said all these people had been tested for COVID, which was our biggest sticking point back when we were trying to shoot this in July. Was that was not there. But it's also the kind of the sticking point for now in regard to COVID. Like, I think with these numbers that you're seeing and you're saying, oh my God, these tests everybody's through the roof and we're peaking and it just keeps going higher and higher and higher. No, you have more tests that are rapidly available to you to where you can just get it. I mean, here there was a drive-through on the way home and I was just like, oh shit, I saw like 4 of them. And it was super easy and everybody can go in and out. And it's like, yeah, more people are testing. So, but yeah, we could not get around that, and then magically a week later all those patents were filed for his show and everything else. And look, you have enough for emails to go through a lawsuit and all that stuff, but I know that road, and it's not worth it. Now if it was like Harry Potter or something maybe, but I mean,
I don't know how much money he's actually making from it? What do you? I mean, it's more just like
it's Facebook Watch because they're trying to make that a thing, right? So Facebook has been trying to make TV shows for a while, and
yeah, they have Real Bros of Simi Valley, which is a big hit.
Yeah, Real Bros of Simi Valley.
Shouts to Jimmy
Yeah.
Thatcher.
But
Huge
they,
hit.
in all sincerity, they do have Red Table Talk, so it's
That's
like,
right.
I mean, that is massive. They had the Ball brothers on there, that whole thing, and ironically, this is a perfect segue. The NBA draft is tonight, and LaMelo Ball, the youngest one from that documentary on Facebook, is projected to go number one.
Could go one, yeah.
Yeah.
Which, whenever I think of LaMelo Ball, I think of the video of him when he's 14 or 15, and he's bricking shots left and right.
Yeah, out the driveway. But he was the youngest of the kids. I will say this: whatever you want to say about LeVar, the dad, who's a piece of shit, he did, out of 3 boys. It looks like LaMelo will go 1 tonight, and then the other kid, Lonzo, went number 2 in the draft, and it's like
Raising champions.
Do you know? Yeah, raising champions. Do you know how hard that is? I mean, that's like the Manning brothers. That's like, they had 2 out of 3 brothers.
right.
Were
they naturally talented? Because the only difference is LeVar just seems
That's
like
what
he
you
beats
wonder.
them if they're not.
Well, that's what you wonder, right? Is if you're naturally talented or not. And, with the NBA draft coming up tonight, like I was thinking about this because Blue Dragons, Team of Destiny,
sure.
# God's Children. Obviously,
Sure.
the trophy's still here. Brought a title back to Texas. It's Title Town now, baby.
See that?
All of that.
Posty.
Yep.
Good luck.
Yeah. And not only that, I fucking beat Post Malone 5 times and all of his goddamn friends. I won 9 in a row that night.
If
and
this is you-
I did shake $20,000 off him that night. So whatever,
Sure.
man. But
And if this is you trying to get back, bravo.
yeah, bravo.
You
motherfucker.
really did it, Post.
So
yeah, fuck.
with the LeVar Ball thing and the kids and the kid being drafted tonight, I was talking to some parents over the weekend. We mentioned it about like the All-Star team, right? That they come and pick up your kids and all that other stuff or whatever, and it's like you have to look at it from body types. I think where you have to be honest about your child and their physical attributes and whether or not they have the drive and will to do that. Because I don't know, I've never met. It's rare, and I've coached 3 of these teams since age 4. I think T-ball was the first thing I coached. Right, they were 4 years old.
Mm-hmm.
You could maybe say, going through that entire league, which we played, you could maybe say one of those kids, had potential to play Major League Baseball in life. Maybe, but you don't know. You have no idea.
That Lincoln kid,
Yes,
maybe, huh?
that's what I'm talking about. You knew.
Yeah, because they're just like way bigger, way crazier. They're not even trying, and they just fucking hit it out, and they're like, "What?"
That's
like
so funny that you remember that
Gronk.
kid's name. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone has that though. Like in elementary school, there's that
Yes.
legendary kid. For me, it was Sean Barksdale at Our Lady of Fatima.
Yes.
So I'm sure he went off to do great things.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, did he or not?
Ours
I don't
was,
know.
Ours
Well, no,
was
I mean,
Jessie Hawkins. Yeah.
Yeah. Is he famous? Is Jesse Hawkins famous? Did he?
No, I don't know.
Yeah.
But for us, he was like the guy. He was like the football star, like blah, blah, blah,
Right.
Probably didn't, but.
Yeah, for us, let's see. There was a basketball player at our school. Actually, there was 2 at our school. There was a basketball player named Tiger. I forget what his last name was. He was older than me. He was a senior when I was a freshman. But everybody knew this kid, and he was, like 6'10" or something like that, crazy. And he was good for being white.
Sure.
At basketball, right?
Just going to ask.
Yeah.
Tiger.
There you go. White kid, and it was before Tiger Woods, so
Right.
the parents didn't name him after Tiger Woods. Because you always wonder that as well.
Yeah, exactly. For example, we're putting our kid in piano. Do you know what I mean? Like, for example. But look.
Here's the thing. So, in all sincerity, so I tracked Tiger to see what he did at college. He was so-so. Never made the NBA, never did. Wasn't even a superstar in college, right?
Right.
There was another kid that I went to school with named Jeff Duncan, and he was throwing like 96 miles an hour in high school, full ride to Georgia Tech, which at the time, Georgia Tech was loaded. I mean, it was Nomar was on that team, Nomar Garcia-Parra, and then Jason Veritek.
Oh shit.
Yeah. And so I remember he took the scholarship there, and when he showed up for the meeting, because it got around to the rest of the school, because like I was getting recruited for football a couple years later, and so you kind of ask what that process is like. Now for him, this kid was a superstar, right? I was just another football player, not the elite like that, right? They put a gold nameplate on the Georgia Tech locker next to Nomar's, and because Nomar had just gone professional and had a big year and all that shit, and they were like, "Hey man, we're gonna put your locker next to here. You should accept this scholarship." And I was like, "Oh shit, is that what it's like? This is what it's like. This is amazing." He gets there. He ends up signing the scholarship, goes to Georgia Tech, and he gets there. And Jason Varitek, the catcher for the you and your dad know the catcher for the Red Sox, who's amazing. And he's also a badass and just a fucking no nonsense dude. He goes, "Hey man," his first day out to the mound. He goes, "Hey man, why don't you throw me one of those 96 mile an hour fastballs I keep hearing about?" And he goes, "If you do, I will knock it out into the fucking street across the stadium." And first pitch in, Varitek hits it out of the stadium over the street, and he goes, "I don't want to hear you talk shit. I don't want to hear anything about how great you are ever again." And that was that. And the reason why I tell this story is I don't know if that shook his confidence from day one, but I never heard another word about what happened to that dude.
Probably.
Maybe. Who knows? But that's the other part about it is you have to have the mindsets and the build for all of the shit you're going to take, in particular in a day of social media. I wasn't in a day of social media. This kid tonight was the third youngest of the Mello brothers, the Ball brothers.
It's a historically weak draft this year, though.
It is, but still, number one is number one, man. I'm not going to, even top five, right? But looking at it, that kid had the entire deck stacked against him. Everyone hated his dad. People thought his brother was shitty and overrated. And
they weren't just going to let someone in with nepotism, all that stuff. So like he had to actually overcome more than if just letting in.
He dropped out of high school and went to Australia and played in their professional league for a year. Like shit like that, where you were just like, I thought for sure nothing would happen to this kid.
Speaking of bodybuild, so like my dad knew that I would be good at softball. You know what I mean? Like at a young, sturdy base of an age. He loved baseball. His two sons were like, Yeah. You know what I mean? I don't want to.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'll do it, Dad. He's like, oh, fine.
Yeah.
And I ended up killing. And he was like, actually got to go to games and like travel and like be like cheering on like someone that actually, you know, barehanded balls and like.
I asked you too, because when we met, I was like, dude, did you play? Like, did you get a scholarship for softball? Because you were saying that you played, and I was like, I mean, look, you're strong enough.
I'm strong enough. I'm sturdy enough, right? Shortstop, catcher. Ended my career as an all-star catcher. Yeah.
You have a great ass.
Thanks.
So I think I had asked you, I was like, did you play catcher? Because you have an amazing ass. And and then you said, yeah. And I was like, oh, well, you had to have gotten a scholarship to college.
Yeah, unfortunately, I found friends and weed senior year. Do you know what I mean? My coach was really pissed and like kept like coming to my class and pulling me out and being like, dude, like, but then I'm like, but what? I'm not going to, what is softball? I don't know.
It would have been a free ride for you.
It would have been a free ride.
You
can't go professional and I don't know.
Yeah.
It just didn't extend past that. Like once, I don't know. And it was at that point, there were people that were like real fucking good. Okay. There were like big girl catchers or big girl people that like were pissed and would roll into home plate and try and fucking knock me out.
Right.
Like knock the wind out of me, knock me out.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think I was just like, but what is this going to do? And I was dumb and had no direction.
I think you can transition into the lingerie football league. I think that's where most of these softball
but
players
they
right?
They
it's like, but then, and then what, right? Like I know how to braid my hair like they do in their games.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's like, I don't know.
You're saying $50 a game isn't making money?
No. It is
yeah, I know. What is wrong with you, right?
It's not making money.
So
it's like being a cheerleader in the NFL. You get like $50 a game. No one knows that either.
Oh yeah. If that. But yeah.
Oh, they get paid dog shit.
Yeah, it's nothing really.
And
they just go like, oh, it's the
They're
same.
working like 80 hours a week just doing charities and stuff.
Yeah.
And they're making like $13K a year.
Yeah.
And I was convinced I was going to be a really famous actress. So I was like, I don't want So, and here we are, huh?
Yeah. I think, look, it starts with the parents. You have to know your child and whether or not they want to do that. Because I've seen the other side of it where, even at 4, there was a dad who had a huge eagle claw dip in, and was just talking about, man, my son's already, in North Carolina, my son's already, he don't need a tee out there. Because he'd hit this weak, thing, this weak ball, down the line. It was a foul ball, so I had to put the ball back on the tee. Mm-hmm. And I looked up, and his dad's real. And I was like, oh, is that your son? And he goes, yeah. And he goes, he's not used to hitting off a tee because I usually throw it to him, and he's great at
90 miles an hour.
Yeah, and I'm like, awesome, man. So he can't hit off a stationary tee that he's just looking at right now.
Interesting.
And that dad, you could tell, is going to ride that kid into the fucking ground,
right,
and try to make him a professional baseball player.
And it's this idea of love your kids for who they are and not what you want them to be, right?
Correct.
So it's that's sort of what we're trying to do now. Is okay, so who are you? We're gonna make you do stuff and finish to the end,
no matter what it is.
No matter what it is. But I do know that if you are good at something, either he gets a goal, or I know that for me, in softball, it was that one play that you're fuck yeah. Right? I love this. I love everything that comes along with it. I want to be the fucking best. I want to do this all the time, right?
Yep.
But you need to get to that point, and it can be with anything. So if he kills at music or karate or whatever, but we are very honest about.
Yeah, somebody in the comments section, Rick Miner, said travel ball parent delusion syndrome is a real thing. So travel ball, that is, dude. When you start going to the traveling teams and all that other stuff, I will say this, it definitely flushes itself out in high school. Once you get to high school and you're on those teams, you can tell if you're great or if you're not great, right? I don't, for a strange reason, and I think I've talked about this on the show before, I knew when my professional dreams of playing pro anything were over, I know the exact day. And I was 15 years old, 14 or 15 years old. And I was like, oh, that's what a real NBA player is like. That is not me. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
I'm not good enough.
Yeah.
But you have to be honest with yourself. And then as a parent, you have to be honest with who your kids actually are, right? Jack's our 6-year-old. Will not be a professional athlete. I can promise you that.
No, but he will be cool.
Yes, he's funny and he's good looking.
Funny,
and
and he's very creative. So I don't know.
If he became like Logan Paul or something, that would not surprise me, right? But I know. But it is what it is. If
I'll take the bank account. For sure,
exactly. Even with Logan Paul though, if you put a camera in my face at that age, probably would have been the same person.
That's true.
But then the second one, who we, Jagger, we don't, it's just the second one in our family, obviously.
The other one, yeah.
The other
and
one.
So
he is a full-on beef statue who is palming shit with gigantic hands and all that stuff.
Yeah,
so.
His favorite thing is to hand you your beer and yell football at the screen. So there you go.
That kid's a gigantic human being. And that one, maybe he'll have a shot in football, but he's, we'll give it a go, and then high school we'll suss it out. But man, some of these parents, they just don't understand, where they're just like, oh yeah, they're gonna be the greatest of all time. It's no, probably not. And then even when you get there, and you see the schedule and everything else, there was another kid that I played with growing up, and who could have been a superstar. I think he got a full ride to Oklahoma, which is a great baseball school. But drinking and drugs and all that other shit gets in the way too. And that nukes a lot of people. Where you're just you go to college, you're not at home anymore. You were on this strict regimen your entire childhood. And then you just lose your fucking mind when you go to college. And you're just
or there's that in high school too. I know with softball, it was practice every single day after school, right? And games on the weekend. It was just sort of at a certain point, you reassess then too, what kind of person do I want to be? I'm having friends, I'm doing plays, and do you know what I mean? And you're all of this is going to take up all your time, you better fucking love it.
Yeah, you better love it. Hammer the like button if you're watching on YouTube right now. Crush that like button. We're trying to beat the algorithm. They stopped it right after so election night is when they stopped the algorithm for our channel on there. And we'll get into it a little bit here because a lot of people have asked, and I got a lot of messages about it. And I was like, man, let me fact check this first before I do it. This one is true. So, regarding the election that is still going on right now, they are finding ballots that are missing ballots in other states. And so I said, look, man, if there's any proof, I will talk about this shit. Otherwise, I'm not going to. They've now found 2,800 ballots missing that were missing in Georgia, another 2,800 in Philadelphia. I believe another 1,200 just turned up in Georgia somewhere else. And then this thing in Michigan that's going on right now that happened late last night is real as well. So I will talk about it. Wayne County, which encompasses Detroit up there in Michigan. It went to the board to get certified because that's the thing about the Associated Press, trying to call elections and things like that. So everything you're reading on Facebook and YouTube and everything where they're like, the Associated Press has called the election. The media cannot call an election. It has to be certified state by state. Mm-hmm. And then you're able to call the election, but there is a process behind that, right? And that is true. The media should not be calling it until the states actually call it. Because Georgia still isn't officially called because they're doing a recount. They said that they expect to have it done by Friday afternoon, as I'm reading here. But this thing in Wayne County last night, which is 100 and what? How many people there are in Wayne County? I want to say it's 150,000 county. We got to get Hot Bob in here. No, it is Michigan.
Wayne
County, Michigan. There you go. Pop it up. 1.7 million. It's a lot. Anyways, there is a certain segment of votes, and I believe it's like 135,000, 145,000 that they won't certify it. So it was a draw once it went to the certification board last night, and they're raging because they said, hey man, I guess on their board, their certification board, it's 2 Democrats, 2 Republicans, and the 2 Republicans are like, we can't certify this. We have a problem with some of these ballots and the signatures. So I don't know what's going to happen with that, and if that goes higher or gets overturned or whatever, but that number is actually the difference of votes between Biden and Trump in that state. So we'll find out what happens.
Oh, I thought they were all upwards of like 10,000, 14,000.
Well, Gretchen Whitmer got on last night and said Biden had won Michigan by 140,000. Mm-hmm. That is unverified, so I'm not really sure.
Right.
But when the Wayne County thing was trending last night, I guess it will go to some other board and they're going to decide on this. But if that domino falls, and this is the reason I'm bringing it up today, then you can start to have these fights in counties around the country and figure it out. I know there was a problem in Nevada and some other place, but with the mail-in ballots and the all of the shit this year, like that was what everybody's biggest worry was. I mean, the state of Georgia had to put out an announcement yesterday, and they were like, "We're really sorry. We didn't know this would happen. This is why a recount is involved," and blah 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 blah. Right? Which, look, if you view all these states that come down to 10 to 100,000 votes for the entire state, asking for a recount to me is not really out of the question. They typically do it in most local elections anyway. So, like, if I'm, I guess, a Democrat, right? And I'm not saying I'm still not saying that I have enough evidence to prove that this was voter fraud yet. But if I am a Democrat, I would say this: the best stance you could say is, great, recount, we won. Who gives a shit, right? And then I think it would end, because I think it has to end by like December 8th or something, like the recounts. So if you won, who cares? Just recount it and figure it out. Georgia says they'll have an answer by Friday afternoon. So it's like, clearly doesn't take that fucking long to recount this shit. So
right.
We'll see. But
I think there is probably voter fraud, right? I want to go on record saying probably not enough. I think they actually did win, but I think they won by literally bullying people.
Yeah.
And making people feel horrible and racist for 4 years. Mm-hmm. And I think that they won, whether it's actual voter fraud or if it's just bullying people and the media making anyone that voted for Trump or anyone that's a Republican seem like white trash, stupid, racist that don't even know they're racist.
Right.
At a certain point, I do believe they got enough of those moderate people that were tired of being called fucking racist. Mm-hmm. And I think that they did win. How legitimate that is in the moral world, I'm not really sure, but it has just been an attack on these people. Right. And there were a lot of really bold people that went in and were like, I don't give a fuck. But I think there were some people that, even me included, that were like, you know, I did vote for Trump, whatever. Yeah. But there was a moment of like, man, like, damn it. Like, it's so many years of right. feeling that way from every avenue, traditional media, people that you know, people in the neighborhood, celebrities. They just made this clique of people that were like, everyone huge and anyone you look up to thinks you're a piece of trash.
Yeah.
And that's wrong as well. So yes, we can look into voter fraud and you can maybe find some, maybe not enough, but the real issue is still there. And I think that was more effective than any voter fraud could have been.
And my biggest hangover since the election for all of this has not really been the election itself, right? We live in a democracy. You vote whoever the winner is the winner is, and you move on with your life. We've always said that on this show, right? The biggest hangover I have regarding the election, though, is from the media, where every single thing was stacked against one person, one group, one everything, and it still is to this day. I still, anybody, like right or left, you post anything about the word vote or there's about 20 to 30 keywords on all these social media sites. And if you post that word, it gets flagged and it says, here's the winner of the election. It is a lot of the times it has nothing to do with like a post. We had a post yesterday on Drinkin Bros about sports about, hey, who's the vote for your MVP for quarterback? And at the bottom of it, it got flagged and it was a private group. And it said, hey, you're talking about the election. No, we're just talking about the quarterback in the league, but thank you very much for that. So,
right.
That hangover has still lasted with me, where every single thing that I read now is just so slanted that it's like, it's tough reading and watching the news, to be honest with you, because it's just so far pushed to one side that I'm like, my God, man. Can you guys not see it? Like David Muir and those guys, like, can you not see what you're doing? Or do you know intentionally and then you're just pushing it that way? And why do you not feel responsibility for the job as a journalist to do something about it, right? And then like even today, when I drove into work, we watch the local news. Every time that I come home from work, typically we have the national news on or whatever. Every time I've come home now, you've got the local news on.
Yeah.
And because you were saying, you were like, that's the only way I can get real news, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And when I drove into work today, there was a news reporter out in front of our office. She was like, hey, can you do an interview? And I was like, yeah, I get stung by a bee today too.
Wow. I mean, big so day. Much going on.
Awful day for Ross.
I know.
But I did this interview and they were like, hey, I guess there's been a bunch of car crashes and stuff, which one we were here for. Remember that guy?
Yeah, this is Old Torf. So
yeah, exactly. Anytime I say we're on Old Torf, they're like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah. Well, we had to get a place right off the highway, so like that way it's easier for guests and airport and all that stuff. We don't really have a choice, but because all of the studios are around here. Us, Rogan, and Alex Jones, we're all within like 8 minutes of each other down here. So it's like, what are you gonna do? I mean, Alex Jones has got a full staff of people with guns and shit, like, you know.
Yeah. We haven't gone that far.
We have our own guns. I don't give a shit. But
yeah.
Anyways, when I got in and I was doing the interview with the local news and they were asking me about the medians and everything else, I'm like, just giving honest answers. I was like, hey, I don't really care about that. I'd rather that money go to the police and not defunding the police is what I said.
Oh, Lord.
Well, it's true. What's a medium going to do right here for anybody, you know?
Yeah.
Like out in front of our building. Like, it's stupid. That's a waste of time and money, in my opinion. And she laughed and like, you know, went on about the interview and everything else, but she didn't try to drive the interview one way or the other, you know, anything like politically.
Well, I think she had everything handed to her on a plate. You were a crazy dude with McDonald's in hand, Hooters hat on, talking about not defunding the police. And they will spin that exactly how they always do. Look at these crazy motherfuckers, right?
We'll find out tonight.
We'll pop it on.
It was really funny because, you know, she had her gear and they make all of these local news reporters now. Like everybody is cut back so much in these departments that they make you shoot it, edit it, interview on your own. Like they make you do all of it now. So whenever you see these reporters, it's a brutal job. You don't get paid a lot, and you have to edit all of this stuff and do it all yourself on the fly.
Yeah, you're working your way up to being an in-studio anchor, right? Which is like everything is done for you and just stories are handed. But in the lower levels, you have to go out and find.
Yeah, that's the dream, right? Being a weekend anchor in Des Moines.
Right, and you bring me the stories, the little peons, and shoot whatever you're going to shoot, edit it. It better be to me packaged, sounding good, looking good, whatever.
Yeah, and so she goes, afterwards, she goes, your voice is like unbelievable. She's like, what do you do? And I was like, oh, I host a show and whatever. And I was like, you want to come up and see the studio? So we brought her up in here. She was in here. And she was like, Jesus Christ, this is nicer than our studio, whatever. Like, well, it's not a shock.
Well, we're telling the truth. See you later.
Yeah. Take care.
Take care. We're telling the truth.
Yeah.
I was talking to a friend of mine about it, and like the messaging, it's not what you say, it's how you say it, right? But the main thing that, you know, the Republican administration, I'll say, was trying to do was just like, tell me the truth and don't tell me what to do. How he got it across was however he got it across, but that was the main thing, right? Mm-hmm. Tell me the truth, the people that are supposed to tell me the truth, and don't tell me what to do every step of the way in my life. And that's, you know, it's a hard message right now.
It is. By the way, regarding the Logan Paul thing, I saw him trending now, and somebody else was talking about it. I watched it last night. So he's got a podcast called Impulsive. And last night, he covered the story we covered on Monday about Harry Styles and the dress. And he's getting a lot of praise today because he got in a fight with his co-host on air, and he was like, what's unmanly about that? Like, he goes, I'd wear a fucking dress just to do it, you know, like, depends on the context and everything else. And people are praising Logan Paul online. So, you know, it's possible to redeem yourself. If our kid I wouldn't give a shit if he was Logan Paul, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
Rich, you learn, you get older. You know, he's still a young dude. I think people forget.
Yeah.
Because he looks older.
He does.
So does the brother.
Yeah.
Because it's one of those things where you have thin hair like that, and you could tell you're going to be bald like in an hour. You're like, oh man, how old are you really? I don't actually know your age. We got some sponsors, James, who put this show on the air. First and foremost, ghostbed.com/Drinkin Bros. What are you looking at?
My computador died, but what do I need?
Yeah, have you used it in the history of this show?
Yes, I use it.
For what? I don't think I've ever seen you tap on.
I don't have my.
Yeah, oh, you don't even have the cord. Yeah. You don't need it. You don't need it. At ghostbed.com, you don't need anything but a mattress to sleep on. You don't need your computer in the bed. 30% off if you're a member of the military or first responder, a teacher, or work in the government. And now, for the first time ever, us dummies, civilians, us dum-dums get the same deals. So go to ghostbed.com/Drinkin Bros today, where, as always, they've got a 36-month pay-as-you-go program. No interest there. It's the holidays, man. If they're shutting down your city and or town, you're good to go. You might as well sleep in comfort because you're going to be stuck inside. I have a feeling. Next up, we get StrikeForceEnergy.com, Jabes.
Boom, 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 boom. Shabalinkers.
Strikeforce Energy has 3 amazing flavors. Grape, original, lemon, and orange. Lasts longer than 5-hour energy. Tasty, tiny little tin pouch. You rip it open and squeeze it into any liquid available. Go to StrikeForceEnergy.com today and get yours, dude. Get what's yours. I don't know if that's their slogan, but it should be. Get what's yours,
Get
dude.
what's coming to you.
Yeah. They'll ship everywhere in the entire world. So go to StrikeForceEnergy.com today. Promo code Revolution, 20% off.
We also have Manscaped, the holiday special.
Manscaped. What is the holiday special, Jabes?
Well, they're going to bundle the Weed Whacker and the lawnmower in a box. Send it to... whatever man in your life it would be appropriate to send to with
sure.
We keep your balls we keep your balls clean.
So here's the thing. I like Jessie. I like her to read the copy on this because you get super uncomfortable.
Oh, on Manscaped, I know.
Yes, because you've got to talk about your balls, shaving your sack, your skin,
or your pussy.
Yeah, your brethren. My brethren's that's my dick, taint, and balls. By the way, I do talk about my brethren in here, so much so that I wrote a footnote at the bottom.
Of what it means?
Yes, of what brethren means.
Yeah.
It's my taint, dick, balls, and area. It encompasses all of it. That's my whole family down there.
Sure.
Because the family jewels is just your balls. This is my family down there. This is my entire unit right here.
It's your whole extended family.
It is. But you get the Weed Whacker. You get the ball trimmer. Pube Scaper. I wish I could just pull mine down right now. I just used this thing fucking 2 nights ago. It's great. And it'll add an extra inch to your dick if you get rid of all those pubes. I can promise you that. And it's not only for your lady, but it's also for you. When you wake up and look in the mirror, don't you want to see an extra inch down there? I think a lot of people do. I know Fake Dan does for sure. Go to manscaped.com today. Get the holiday special. Get the package. It's for, in all sincerity, it's like the nicest shit ever. It's like from Brookstone.
Yeah. But with
nice.
But with humor.
Yes, it's really funny, and they lean into it, and it's great.
But they're able to lean into it because their product is awesome, and you get what, 20% off?
Yes, 20% off
plus
with the promo code shipping. Revolution and free shipping at manscaped.com. Go there, do it, be about it, live it, love that life. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. Sorry, I've got an audition this afternoon for a church choir, and I'm just working on some things there. You can do it. Trying to.
That's great.
Yeah, so you got to do 2 songs. I'm going to do that one, which is an abridge. You got to do an abridge and then a cover.
What's the cover?
The cover is going to be Cry Sweet Freedom by Michael McDonald. Cry sweet freedom, shine a light on me.
Yeah, we're not
keep
showing.
My spirit love.
We're not showing much range.
Oh, you're showing a lot of range, and the range that they need. More importantly, everyone can do a falsetto, right?
Sure.
No one can do the bravado that I provide. Is that a word? Nope. Is it the bravado?
Tenor, alto,
bass, bravado,
drum, treble.
Whatever it is, you keep the spirit alive.
Our a cappella band, Here Comes Treble.
Oh, here comes.
I think that's The Office, right? Blammo.
Here comes treble. Christmas is around the bend, Jabes. I got a call. I talked to my mom last night, and she was like, "Hey, just want to give you a heads up. I'm sending the gifts for the kiddos out to you early, because of COVID and what happened last year." And I panicked last night, and I was like, "Oh shit, you're right," because we went through this last year.
Yeah.
We went through it last year with a bike and something else, where it was just like, "Oh my god, how do we get this?" Because of COVID, all the shipments are delayed, like
for a birthday or something.
Yeah, like 3 or 4 weeks, So.
Okay.
It was for the birthday.
Yeah, because
April 4th.
Christmas last year was not
the birthday.
Pre-COVID, yes.
COVID, yeah.
So it was the birthday, but when I thought about it, I was like, oh my God. Sure enough, in my drunken stupor last night, I stumbled over to Amazon and I ordered the 2 big items that we wanted to get the children's.
Okay.
And dude, they were like, hey, this will be arriving like December 10th. And I was like, oh, shit.
Oh, dang.
Thankfully, I got in there, and I just want to give everybody else a heads up out there. Like, hey, man, put your orders in now because everything is fucking late. I mean, it took us 5 months to get couches, for Christ's sakes.
Yeah.
But this one, the big dog, as the sun rises, it dawns on him, is dropping December 8th. And this is going to be paperback on the same day, so that way you definitely will get it no matter what on that day, because the hardbacks last time it was banned for a while and all that other shit. We're not dealing with it. Paperbacks are print on demand, so you'll get it. But some of these big ticket items out there, start ordering in advance because they are out. What's the update on the PS5? I know people are fucking reselling these on eBay for like $10,000.
I got a dude who'll sell me one for $900 today.
So
really?
Pretty much double price right now.
Double the price? All right. All right. Bring it in, and then we'll show it, because the people that are getting them,
yeah,
I mean, they're displaying them like they were fucking Cabbage Patch dolls.
I can't find them
the
for
80s.
less than like $1,000 or $1,100.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, been eBay's flooded with them too.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think you're gonna get them for Christmas now. That's what I'm saying. Like, there won't be a restock then. So it's like whatever's out is
correct.
Out.
So, and that's why I wanted to bring this up today. If you were out there and you were trying to buy gifts for your kids, or husbands or brothers or whatever who act like children, and they need video games and things like that, you too. Get them early. Get them now.
They're not husbands or fathers.
I overpaid on that bike 2 years ago.
Yeah.
The Captain America bike. I had to find there was some fucking dude in Oregon who had bought all the Marvel bikes, stashed them in his garage, and shipped it out to me. And I was like, man, is it the same thing? It is. He just went in the store and bought out the whole goddamn place, apparently, and then charged double for it. And I was the asshole who was a little late to the party on that, and I had to go and find it on eBay and track this guy down in Oregon and make sure it was there. And didn't it arrive like on the 23rd, like at night, where it was just like,
yeah, no.
And I was like, oh, thank you.
Not
thank
put
you.
together, yeah.
Of course not put together. None of this shit is put together. Yeah. Therefore, the things that I ordered last night, our child is off from school, so he's in the other room. I don't want him to hear it, but you're going to have to put this together, Jessie. That is definitely not me on this one.
Yeah, I think I'm installing my oven today, too.
That'd be rad. Yeah.
I'll try it.
Everybody's so goddamn lazy now.
Yeah.
Like, because we ordered this fucking thing. How much was it? $800?
Yeah.
Yeah. For an oven. Like, and nobody gives a shit about an oven. It's just to heat things up. It's not like it does anything magical. It's not like it's a Traeger, for Christ's sakes. Like, I understand paying top dollar for a Traeger. That's the best you'll ever have your food cooked. They're not a sponsor, but god damn it, they should be. With an oven, it's like, sweet. Beep, beep, beep. Great, set my watch, come back and get my pork roast or whatever, whenever you're pulling out of there. My meatloaf. I got to get out there. It's an oven, dude. $800. So what the fuck are we doing? Right. I wish because there's a hole. Once you pull it out, it's drilled into your wall. Ours is, at least.
Yeah.
I don't know about anybody else. All I kept thinking was, let's rip that fucker out and just put a brick oven pizza in there,
Well, yeah.
Inside the house.
Okay, but you need a fire, so then we need to get a chimney up because you put wood in there.
Semantics.
But I do want to do that outside for sure.
I'll cut a hole in the ceiling. That'll be good enough. It'll travel through
Outdoor
the
brick
thing.
oven pizza? Yes, please.
Yeah.
I'll make that drive to Drippin' Springs for that.
That's,
exactly.
That's Jesse's dream.
I'm trying to make my outside a place where people will actually travel out to see me and party.
Well,
right? Brick oven pizza, pool, guest house. Like, come on down.
Yeah,
DJ.
Yeah.
DJ
Khaled.
A DJ, all of that. All the things that Giorgio needs to come out to the country.
Hammer the
65-year-old
button.
ladies, my mom.
Yeah. All of that stuff. But I think more and more people are doing that, where they're turning their house into every place they might have gone in life, because
right.
you don't know anymore, where you're just like, am I seeing people again, or am I wearing a mask? If we had a brick oven pizza at the goddamn house, would we go anywhere?
Right? And then I'd get like an outdoor bar.
Yeah.
Get like a kegerator.
Yeah.
Set up my whole hog pit in the corner. All of it.
Ooh, it'd be great. It's going to be a delightful Christmas at our house. I'm looking forward to it. You know who's not looking forward to Christmas, though, is Harvey Weinstein. If he makes it.
Gosh, I feel bad for him.
Is that real?
No. Poor thing. Poor thing, though, you know?
He's gravely ill. He is, they're saying he is on his deathbed. I don't know if I buy that.
No, he had a fever of 101. They've isolated him.
He's got COVID in jail and all of that shit.
They're not even saying if he has COVID or not. It's whatever.
No, they definitely say he is and he's isolated. But, you know, you know, you look at this shit, you're like, man, this dude had everything. He had it all. And now he's getting COVID in some weird prison and wherever the fuck he is. Because I know he's about to go on trial in Los Angeles. So I wonder if they switched him out to LA or I'm not sure how that works. But yeah, man. Crazy. When I read that, I was like, oh shit. Because the other thing I thought was I forgot about Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah.
It's weird when people go to jail. You're just like, oh, okay, that's cool. That's it. You know, and you don't really think about it. The crazy thing about it was the next story afterwards that I was reading last night on TMZ was Aunt Becky went to jail.
Yeah.
From Full House.
Yeah.
And then her husband's about to go.
Did you see his new look?
Yes. So
Can we look up Massimo's?
Look up Aunt Becky's prison look.
She went to jail for paying for her kid to go to USC.
Yes. Yes, she
Why?
did. So it's dumb.
Right? We've always said like
Fake Dan, you're late to the party on this one, so we'll go ahead and inform you. We said the only reason to be rich in this life is to pay off colleges to get our dumb kids in.
Get your dum-dums in. Like
I have no problem with this whatsoever.
You're essentially just giving a donation to the school.
That's it. That's all you're doing.
What's the problem?
The problem is I think that it wasn't the actual school. It was one dude.
Well,
coach of the road team.
Yeah, no, it was a middleman.
You know what I mean? There was a middleman.
Whatever.
Therefore, you can't say like I wrote the check to the school, which would have worked. So what's her Massimo something? Husband's
pull
new
up
look.
Lori Loughlin's husband.
Just put in Massimo something.
He shaved his head.
Yeah.
He has a
huge
gray beard, and
Lord,
we've got to get Bob in here. We've got to get Hot Bob in here.
It's right there at that TMZ one.
There it is.
I know, but they're videos. And
they are videos.
It's all right. You can show that. There it is. Just show the picture. There you go. Pop that up on the screen. Look at this fucking gangster.
Ready for jail. Is
that on screen right now? Great. This is what you should do here. Like
right? Because now he looks scary.
Yeah, dude. And because he's going to federal prison. He's not going to
Well, he's
whatever, right?
He is going to white collar crime.
Oh, is he?
I mean,
I didn't know.
I don't think for what he did,
you're
violent.
not going to real jail.
No,
you're playing tennis.
No. Yeah, and by the way, federal prison is actually the place that you want to go, right? That's the tennis. When you federal crime money.
Federal prison.
Dude, you want to go to like
a
detention center? Yeah, federal's the worst.
That's the Fed, Club Fed.
Yeah,
Club Fed.
So no, I think he's going to like fucking jail.
Okay.
Anyways, he's doing 5 months there.
Minimum security prison.
Yeah, minimum security, that type of shit, not federal prison. So he clearly hired someone, shaved his head, grew a fucking beard, all that shit. Like he's doing all of the things.
Right.
Because everybody else was just like, oh, I've never even seen him with a gray beard. And I was like, well, look, we've said this secret many, many times on this show. Anyone over the age of 36, 37 years old, chances are they have gray hairs and or a beard.
You guys, he's going to Lompoc.
What's that? What's Lompoc?
So it's close to wine country. Very chill.
Is it?
Lompoc?
What does it say? What's the...
So he will serve prison time in Lompoc.
He's going to tend to the vineyards.
Lompoc, huh?
Is he going to tend to the vineyards?
Maybe.
Yeah, well, it's just this like really small wine town. It's in wine country, right?
I don't know. I will look all of this up right now because you seem crazy today.
I seem crazy?
This is a federal prison, right?
I don't know. I mean, we need to see because when you say federal, okay.
All right, federal correctional institution here. It is a low security prison.
Low security. It is in Lompoc, right?
Male inmates in California.
In California, yeah. So when you're going to,
I am looking at this place now. He's going to be fine.
Yes, like when you're going to wine country.
Yeah.
There's like Solvang, that little Swedish village.
Yep.
Lompoc, which is just like ma and pa, tiny little rich town. And then you go up to San Luis Obispo. So he's going to be fine. Yeah. I'm not sure they were there.
This is a white collar crime.
I will say this.
Their trial was like in Boston. I don't know what he's doing in Lompoc, whatever, but.
Well, it's close to home. So they live out there. I think the Fed's case is usually in New York or Boston or whatever, but there is something notable about Lompoc or Lompoc.
Lompoc.
Okay. In 1980, there was an escape there, James.
Yeah, I bet.
This isn't a crime corner. This is a real corner. This is a real crime committed. In the late evening hours of January 21st, 1980, Christopher Boyce, who was serving 40 years for spying for the Soviet Union, escaped from Lompoc with the assistance of fellow inmates.
He just walked out the door.
Nope. He hid in a drainage hole, used a makeshift ladder, and small tin scissors to cut through barbed wire perimeter. Boyce was on the run for 20 months. That's almost 2 years. That's great. Good for him.
He's in Napa.
But they did say, hey, man, the COVID outbreak swept through the fucking thing, and everybody got it, the whole jail. And a bunch of people in there. But yeah, look, most of these people, notable inmates here, I'm looking at it. One guy is a former record company executive, convicted of mail fraud and wire fraud, Ponzi scheme type shit. So, Chi Mak, who is there, he's scheduled for release in 2027. Is a former engineer for Boeing.
Oh, you know what I mean? It's like,
he's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
Jimmy Snowden. Member of the KKK. There we go. At least there's somebody in there. Another guy
he was
who
probably
was
doing something money-wise with the KKK that got him in there.
Bernie Ward.
He was an accountant.
Yeah, he was an accountant for the KKK.
And he was
laundering money.
Radio host and a political commentator, Bernie Ward, was there. And Reed Slatkin, the co-founder of Earthlink, who also happened to be a Scientology minister. So he is in there for money laundering for perpetrating one of the largest Ponzi schemes in U.S. history. All right, now that I've read who was in this place, maybe shaving your head wasn't necessary.
Probably not. Who are you scaring? You're fine. But anyway.
5 months isn't bad.
He won't serve 5 months.
Yeah.
No, maybe it's for the aesthetic. This seems like a prison where you can actually get on your phone and take like fit pics on your Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who knows?
You can TikTok in there. Seen the prison TikToks?
Yeah, the prison TikToks are big. How are they getting a phone in there? Everybody wants to know, Jabes. How you getting a phone in there to TikTok? And why are you following prisoners on TikTok? Why don't want the kids to have it's like, hey man, who you following? Oh, Dad, it's awesome. It's these murderers who are dancing to Thriller in there for Halloween.
Yeah.
Oh, like in a prison, like real ones. Yeah. They're convicted murderers, just going for Thriller in there.
Rehabilitation.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Through TikTok.
Through TikTok. That's what we're going with here. Mm-hmm. No, I'm all done with all that bullshit on TikTok.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah.
You were never with it.
No, I'm not, and don't think I'm coming back around to it either.
No.
At all.
No.
That ain't gonna happen, Japes. Not on my watch.
Okay.
I don't even know how those motherfuckers do the podcast in there. Ear Hustle?
Oh, they do it. Okay. So they have a media. It's a prison where they actually are trying to rehabilitate people, and they have jobs. So you can either work on cars or you can go to the media center.
Okay.
And they do their podcast there.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
So they're actually like teaching them how to do.
Whoop-de-ding-dong.
Right.
Whoopity-doo.
But that guy got out that was the host, and he's like doing it from his house, and we don't like it anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because the whole point was that.
He was in jail, yeah.
Right?
What was he in for, do you know?
It was attempted murder, and he was in for like 30 years.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And now he's out?
Yeah.
Did he get out early because of the show?
No. It was just like.
Just normal. His time was up.
It was time, or he got paroled or something. And so they follow him out, and now he's like doing it still, but it.
Yeah.
It's just not the same when
like,
it's
hey, bro, you're
not
not in
coming
prison,
from
yeah.
San Quentin. You know what I mean? Like, I want to picture them in
the jail, yeah.
in the jail
Yeah.
doing a podcast, which is amazing to me.
Yeah. I was incarcerated.
Once you get out, bye.
Yeah, bye. See you later. Last thing I want to chat about today is these old paintings that people keep finding. And these things, like, I feel like one of these stories pops up once a month where you're just like, oh, I found an old Da Vinci painting in the back of a thing, and now we're getting examined. That happened again today with a Da Vinci painting of Jesus. Can you pop up that picture of this Da Vinci painting of Jesus? It's creepy because it kind of looks like Mona Lisa, but it's also the first time I've seen JC without a full beard. You know?
Oh, clean shaven JC.
Well, he's shaved the mustache area. That is not it.
Oh.
Nope, that is not the picture, but yeah.
Is it important to see the picture?
Yes, because this is the one that is going to be for sale.
Okay. So it's Da Vinci?
Yep. We'll get it another life, you know?
Da Vinci painting.
We'll get it.
That's not it?
It's a drawing. We'll get it another life. I'm looking at it right now in the sun.
Okay.
I wish I could put my computer up there. I'm super fast. With this though, Japes, this drawing that they found is from 1500, where you're just like 1519.
It's a drawing?
Yeah, it's
okay.
it's a sketch, but it's you can't tell what it was like. I wish I could just turn. There it is, right there. Boom. Pop that up on the screen. So
it looks like a piece of toast.
It seems like the first JC.
Looks like a piece of skin that it's drawn on.
It's the first one with JC without a mustache there. You know what I'm saying? Like, why did he shave that? And how did you know?
Right.
How did you know that JC didn't have that? The reason why this is a big deal is they're saying that this could go for $135 million. They're getting it verified now. I don't even know how shit lasts that long from back then. Like, that's over 500 years.
Yeah. This can't be real, right?
It is.
I mean, there's things from thousands of years ago that are perfectly preserved.
Right.
I mean, Da Vinci's not even that long ago in the grand scheme of things.
But, like, is this person just deciding to sell now, or they found it, or how do you...
So they found it, and they've already started the lab test on the paper. So I guess that's where you start first to make sure that it's the exact age and all that other shit, right? They said that the test results came back, and that the paper is from the early 16th century. And they're kind of comparing it to other works by Leonardo da Vinci. The weird thing about it when I was reading it is I guess he had a bunch of like pupils and things that looked up to him, and they were like, sometimes he would draw shit and then give it to them, and then they would finish it or whatever.
Okay.
And I would never pay that much for something like what. Now the book I wanted that we were talking about a week ago,
right,
where he was writing Inside Out and all that stuff. Like, that's a fun thing. But all this shit I don't want.
His invention book.
Yeah.
That'd be tight. Yeah.
That'd be sweet.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I want, but not this.
I'm not really into art.
You know what's weird is we always joke about this, right? Because we're not. You and I hate museums and shit like that. Yeah. But I did buy this amazing Kobe portrait that this guy painted.
Yeah, but that was like somebody you knew, and you knew his work, and like...
It was posted by a Drinkin Bro listener, and I was just like, hey, dude, Ross, I thought of you when I saw this. Like, this dude painted it. Like, and I was like, oh shit, I didn't know. I ended up buying it from him. I will say that I love it.
Yeah.
So there is certain types of art. This just isn't one of them in particular.
Yeah.
And like the Mona Lisa looks like bullshit to me. It does. It does.
I heard it's smaller too.
Everybody says it's really tiny.
It is very small.
Have you seen it in real life?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the Mona Lisa is it's trash. It's total trash, right? Is that good?
She's an ugly woman. Yeah.
But like just the painting.
Some people said it's
in general.
A dude. Yeah, it's a dude. Yeah. Who knows?
It's just trash. It's just trash.
Yeah. So look, if you're out there, maybe I'm going to save something from my life, and I will leave it in a time capsule. And then after I die, you can find it 500 years later and say, man, remember Ross? That guy who was on the news with his Hooters hat?
Yeah.
The local news?
Yeah.
talking about how he didn't give a shit about the median being invented. He just wanted
invented.
Well, not invented, but put in.
The median.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Invented, I guess. But
no, it's the thing.
Put in. What would you say? Installed. You install a median.
Yeah, they're thinking of putting a median in right here.
Whatever,
right?
man.
Yeah, man.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. You're absolutely right.
So, we'll be live this afternoon for Drinkin Bros this afternoon. Bear with us. What are you laughing at?
You'll be alive.
We'll be live. Did I say alive?
Yeah, but we don't know.
Did I get fucked up? Like I got trashed last night. I'm pretty upset.
Right. But you're just telling people like I'm not gonna die. Do you know what I mean? I'll be alive for the next show. Like, don't worry about me, right?
We will be live. I thought I said live. Did I not say live, or did I say alive?
It's hard to say.
It really is, right? It really is.
It could be me. I'm stupid.
I was so pissed about that show.
Yeah.
I got rocked. Full disclosure last night. Who cares? But we'll go over it step by step this afternoon. I'll send you the screenshots and everything. I'll even post that picture of fucking me and Post Malone buck naked.
Do it. At this point,
I don't give a fuck.
Do it. Texts, everything.
Yeah, I don't give a shit.
All of it.
All of the things that I will post today. So
that we weren't posting because we thought,
hey man, I'll be cool about it.
We'll be cool. You're cool. Maybe you'll do the show. Like you said you would when COVID's over and we can all do the show that we sold and we're gonna do. But no.
Yeah, so I don't give a shit. So I'll post that today.
Yeah.
I don't fuck. I'll even post about the championship belts because we were getting the belts designed and all that shit, and they have their own now. Dre is that manager's name, that fucking piece of shit.
Yeah, we'll find him.
Yeah.
Don't you worry.
It's one of those things, though, where, like, you meet a guy like that and who's a piece of shit, and you're like, man, something fucked up will happen to that guy later on down the road.
Yeah.
Because it's not like a professional manager. It's not like,
No.
It's just some
It's a professional hustler,
I think the guy was a
dude.
custodian. I think he was a janitor. No lie.
And he will be again.
Hustled his way in. Yeah. But we'll chat about that later. Go to iTunes. Rate the show a 5-star. Leave a quick review. It is not our millions of listeners. It is simply your reviews that skyrocket us up the charts. And we need it, James. We need it for the people. I might pour a little bit of that screwball for the afternoon show to try to kick back in today. Try to find my groove. Put a little strike force in there. Try to find myself today. I'm alive. I've invented medians, and I'm doing all of those things today.
Yep. The Mona Lisa is trash. Yeah. If you've taken anything from this show.
The Mona Lisa is garbage, and there's no need for you to see it or lay your eyes on it or give that guy any more credit than he already had. Da Vinci. For Jessie Wiseman, a.k.a. The Jables, I'm Ross Patterson. This is The Revolution. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon. Who gives a fuck about Christmas?